Will Justice League 2 ever see the light of the day? Or is it just a myth like a decent Green Lantern movie? Seriously, the only thing more mysterious than the plot of Justice League 2 is how Aquaman's hair stays so perfect underwater. But wait, there's more. Is Darkseid still planning to redecorate Earth, or did he finally find a better hobby? So grab your popcorn, folks, and get ready for a roller coaster of uncertainty and disappointment as we explore. The Justice League stands among the most iconic superhero teams in pop culture, bringing together DC Comics' biggest heroes like Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. First debuting in comic books in 1960s, the Justice League had been adapted numerous times for television and film. In 2017, the DCEU, that is DC Extended Universe, ushered in a live-action cinematic Justice League led by director Zack Snyder. However, the trajectory of Snyder's vision had faced ongoing twists and turns, leaving fans to wonder, what's next for the Justice League? How did Zack Snyder's departure from DCEU impact the future of the Justice League? Zack Snyder kickstarted the DCEU by helming Man of Steel in 2013 and Batman vs. Superman in 2016. His cinematic universe was meant to culminate in a two-part Justice League saga, bringing together the iconic heroes against cosmic-level threats. However, Snyder stepped down from directing Justice League in 2017 due to a family tragedy. Joss Whedon was brought in for extensive reshoots, significantly altering Snyder's original cut. The theatrical versions of Justice League received mixed reviews and underperformed at the box office. This fueled a passionate fan campaign for Snyder's vision to be restored. After years of anticipation, Zack Snyder's Justice League will be released on HBO Max in 2021. His 4-hour director's cut delivers a darker, more cohesive adaptation. The film ends with teases for future sequels, leaning into Snyder's sprawling 5-part narrative for the League. However, instead of green-lighting sequels, Warner Brothers essentially parted ways with Snyder. They began charting a new direction for the DCEU without Snyder at the helm. Many pinpointed Snyder's departure from the Justice League as the turning point where the DCEU started to decline. Solo films like Aquaman and Shazam tried moving away from his tone and approach, but the overall universe felt disjointed, lacking cohesion. Restoring Snyder's vision could potentially have revived interest and stability in the faltering DCEU. But with Snyder now separated from DC films and fully immersed in his universe with Netflix's Rebel Moon, the chances of his Justice League chapters coming to fruition seems unlikely. What storylines and characters were meant to be explored in Snyder's two Justice League sequels? Snyder had mapped out an intricate, interconnected narrative for his two Justice League follow-ups. Justice League 2 would raise the stakes by introducing the menacing cosmic villain Darkseid. He comes to Earth seeking an anti-life equation, which allows him total domination over sentient beings. Darkseid's arrival puts the Justice League on high alert. Meanwhile, Lex Luthor tells Darkseid that Lois Lane is Superman's weakness. Darkseid kidnaps and kills Lois, sending Superman into a spiral of grief-fueled rage. With Superman presumed dead, tensions rise as Lois and Batman grow closer. When Superman returns corrupt by the anti-life equation, the stage is set for an epic showdown between the Justice League and Darkseid's forces. Justice League 3 would pick up in a nightmarish future where Darkseid had taken over Earth. Batman leads a resistance team featuring Cyborg, Flash, Mera, and others. They eventually defeat Darkseid's army in an intense battle. The story comes full circle to Batman's nightmare vision in Batman vs. Superman, which is implied to be a premonition of this grim future. Flash uses time travel to warn Bruce, leading to a cinematic to overshadow. The saga concludes with Superman and Lois' son becoming the new Batman. Snyder's sequels would have delivered high-stakes drama, tragic romance, and bombastic action. Key plot points like Martian Manhunter, Deathstroke, and the Nightmare timeline would finally pay off. While undoubtedly divisive, Snyder's bold vision clearly aimed to go where most blockbusters don't dare to go. How did the recent major changes in leadership and direction at DC Studios affect Snyder's involvement? In late 2022, Warner Bros. Discovery appointed James Gunn and Peter Safran as co-CEOs of the newly formed DC Studios. This signaled a major restructuring and overhaul for the DCEU moving forward. Gunn and Safran unveiled ambitious plans to spearhead a reboot and recasting of major roles like Superman. They are shaping their fresh cinematic universe titled Gods and Monsters. This new direction makes it increasingly unlikely for Snyder to return and continue his original DCEU plans. Doing so would directly compete with Gunn and Safran's revamped universe trying to find its footing. Reintroducing Snyder's continuity risks muddling things for general audiences. The DCEU is gearing up to spotlight new versions of flagship characters like Superman and Batman with different actors. Bringing back Snyder's world with its established players would convolute matters further. While Snyder's trilogy could potentially be released as standalone Elseworld stories, it poses challenges. His narrative stems directly from the DCEU, relying heavily on world-building, history, and chemistry established in those films. Severing it entirely to become its continuity would likely require significant reworking. Given Snyder's commitments to Rebel Moon and other projects, returning to the material he already completed years ago seems unlikely. How have the individual's Justice League members been handled in the evolving DCEU landscape? The DCEU Justice League only came together for one film in 2017 before the landscape shifted around them. Let's examine how Warner Bros. Has navigated the franchise's trajectory for each iconic League member. Cavill debuted as Superman in Man of Steel, reprising his role in several DCEU films. But reports indicate Cavill and WB were at odds regarding direction, leading to Superman being sidelined after 2017. Fans campaigned eagerly for his return, which finally occurred in 2022's Black Adam. But mere months later, Cavill confirmed his DCU departure with Superman being rebooted. James Gunn plans to recast the role with a new Superman film slated for 2025. Like Cavill, Affleck stepped away from his DCEU role after 2017's Justice League, passing the Batman mantle to Michael Keaton in 2022's The Flash. But in a surprising twist, Affleck suited up once more for reshoots on Aquaman 2. With Keaton's Batman introduction delayed to Aquaman 3, Affleck's return suggests further DCEU involvement. Gadot has remained the DCEU's Wonder Woman post-Justice League, anchoring successful solo films in 2017 and 2020. Her three-movie arc will likely conclude in 2024's Wonder Woman 3, but Gadot isn't expected to continue as Wonder Woman in the new DCEU era, with the role being recast down the line. Momoa experienced a meteoric rise after Justice League, with Aquaman becoming the DCEU's highest-grossing film. His underwater solo franchise remains a priority for Warner Bros. Amidst larger universe changes, Momoa is confirmed to return in 2023's Aquaman 2 and a third installment. Miller's Flash endured delays and controversies but finally arrived in 2022's The Flash film. While underwhelming commercially, it served a narrative purpose, rebooting the DCEU timeline and introducing Keaton's Batman. Miller is unlikely to return as Flash given their controversial reputation, meaning a recast down the line is probable. Fisher as Cyborg had a limited role in Justice League and was originally meant to co-star in The Flash. But amidst disputes with studio leadership, Fisher severed ties with Warner Bros., meaning Cyborg currently has no DCEU feature. James Gunn confirmed that he has plans to introduce Cyborg down the line, likely with a new actor. The Justice League's live-action feature remains nebulous as the DCEU transitions into the next era. While general audiences have become accustomed to Batman and Superman being recast regularly, it may prove more jarring to see brand new takes on Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and The Flash after a short time. Gunn and Safran spearheading DC films marked a defining shift, inevitably leading to hard choices on continuity. As the architects of the new DCEU, their vision will likely prioritize shaping their universe rather than reviving and competing with Snyder's. What are some of the biggest challenges facing the new DCEU slate, and how might that impact the Justice League's plans? While the new DCEU aims to course correct after years of unevenness, the path forward faces hurdles. Reintroducing flagship heroes like Superman and Batman so soon after previous versions risks audiences' fatigue. The team will need to rebalance delivering fresh takes while avoiding redundancy. Furthermore, the interconnectivity of the Justice League may take time to develop if solo films are more self-contained. Until clear universe building occurs, plans for a new Justice League film could remain on hold. Do you think Warner Bros. Will ever release Zack Snyder's Justice League sequels or integrate elements from them into the new DCEU? It seems unlikely at this point that Snyder's sequels will be greenlit as envisioned. However, certain storylines or characters like Darkseid, Deathstroke, and Martian Manhunter could potentially carry over into the rebooted universe. Giving multiverse storytelling precedence, loosely adapting concepts from Snyder's plans provides creative opportunities for the new DCEU. Elements like nightmare reality offer scope for innovative connections. Well, that's a wrap, fellow heroes and skeptics. If Justice League 2 ever graces our screens or becomes the ultimate unicorn of the DC universe, we'll be here to dissect every rumor, trailer, and superhero hairstyle change. Don't forget to drop your wild theories in the comments below and hit that like button if you're still holding out hope.